What if failure isn't the conclusion but the catalyst? Not a period at the end of your story, but the comma that leads to a plot twist so powerful it redefines everything. Here at the Innova Evolution Project, we see life's hurdles not as obstacles, but as opportunities to shape you. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the biggest hurdles of all, the fear of failure. But here's the twist. Failure isn't the villain of your story, it's the mentor in disguise. What if instead of avoiding failure, you could use it as a launch pad? Imagine setbacks as springboards, propelling you toward intelligent risks, bold decisions that could shift the trajectory of your entire life. Let's reframe failure and fear together. Because fear itself isn't the issue. It's how we respond to it that defines everything. Fear of failure feels like a massive shadow looming over us. But when you step closer, you realize it's just a distorted reflection of your own doubts. Think about it. How often has the fear of failing stopped you before you even started? How many dreams have you tucked away because the weight of what if felt heavier than the desire to succeed? Now here's a radical thought. What if failing isn't something to dread but something to embrace? Every failure you've faced has taught you something valuable. It showed you what doesn't work, revealed hidden blind spots, or even proved how resilient you can be when things fall apart. Failure is not your enemy. Stagnation is. Staying in the safe zone may shield you from failure's sting, but it also robs you of growth and transformation. Picture failure as a magnifying glass. It highlights what's not working, focuses your efforts, and sharpens your strategies. This is where the magic of intelligent risks comes in. Risk-taking isn't reckless, it's intentional. It's about leveraging the lessons failure teaches to make smarter, bolder decisions. Each failure is like a stepping stone, building a bridge to the person you're destined to become. The more you fail, the more you learn how to climb higher and reach further. Instead of seeing failure as the end, think of it as the beginning of transformation. Let it refine you, not define you. Failure is a teacher, not a threat. It shapes you, sharpens you, and propels you toward the next big leap. Remember, great success isn't the absence of failure. It's built on the wisdom that failure brings. Every stumble, every setback, every I'm done moment is an invitation to evolve. Here's the truth. Fear will never disappear. It'll always whisper doubts and highlight what might go wrong. But when you embrace failure as part of the process, fear fades into the background. Success stories are never free of failure. The innovators, trailblazers, and game changers didn't get there by avoiding mistakes. They got there by embracing them, learning from them, and pressing forward. It's time to change the script in your mind. Instead of letting the thought, "What if I fail?" be your default question, try flipping the narrative to something more empowering. What if I don't try? Think about it. What dreams remain unfulfilled because you didn't take the leap? What incredible relationships, career moves, or personal breakthroughs are left gathering dust because fear held the reins? Fear often masquerades as logic, convincing you to stay safe, but what it's really doing is boxing you into a version of life that's smaller than what you're capable of living. Taking intelligent risks isn't about recklessness, it's about trust. Trust in your ability to prepare, adapt, and grow. It's about recognizing that fear will always whisper in the background, but courage allows you to take action anyway. When you bet on yourself, you're saying, "I'm worth the effort, I'm worth the discomfort, I'm worth the risk." You may stumble, you may even fall, but each step forward, no matter how small or uncertain, carries you closer to something extraordinary. So take a breath, prepare as best as you can, then step forward despite the fear. Because the moment you dare to believe in the possibility of soaring, you unlock a future where breakthroughs, opportunities, and relationships aren't just dreams. They're your reality. Now let's get into the power of intentional failure. Failure, when approached intentionally, can be one of life's greatest teachers. But here's the catch. It's not enough to simply experience failure and move on. You must engage with it, study it, and let it transform you. Think of failure as raw data. It holds the clues, the insights, and the pathways to improvement, if you're willing to look closely. So instead of brushing it off or letting it weigh you down, approach it with the curiosity of a scientist. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Identify the root cause. Was it a lack of preparation, a miscalculation, or perhaps an external factor you couldn't control? Clarity here is key. What could I do differently? Imagine yourself tackling the same situation again. What adjustments would you make? This is where failure shifts from being a regret to being a rehearsal. What's the hidden lesson here? Every failure has a silver lining, a new perspective, a skill gained, or even a warning of what to avoid next time. Unearth it and let it guide your next steps. When you approach failure with this mindset, it stops being a setback and starts being a stepping stone. You're no longer defined by the failure itself, but by how you respond to it. Growth happens when you treat each stumble as an opportunity to recalibrate, refine, and rise stronger. The power of intentional failure lies in this truth. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning so profoundly from them that they become the foundation for your success. Picture this. You, years from now, looking back on your life. What stands out more? The moments when you dared to try and stumbled, or the opportunities you let slip away because fear whispered, "What if you fail?" Failures, though painful in the moment, are fleeting. They leave behind scars, yes, but those scars carry wisdom. They're a testament to your resilience, a map of lessons learned, and proof that you were bold enough to step into the unknown. Over time, the sting of failure dulls, replaced by a quiet pride in knowing you gave it your all. Missed opportunities, on the other hand, have a way of staying with you. They become the haunting what-ifs that linger in the corners of your mind. They're the dreams you shelved, the chances you didn't take, and the roads you never ventured down. Unlike failures, they don't teach, they torment, reminding you of the life you could have lived if only you'd been brave enough to try. When you look ahead, ask yourself, do you want your story to be filled with the bold leaps that shaped who you are, or the safe decisions that kept you small? Because here's the truth. It's not failing that leaves a lasting regret. It's not trying at all. Here's your challenge. Change how you see failure. Stop treating it like an adversary and start seeing it as a powerful ally in your personal evolution. Failure isn't here to humiliate you. It's here to guide you, to challenge you, to make you stronger and wiser than you were before. It's not the roadblock you think it is. It's the foundation upon which you'll build something extraordinary. Take that risk you've been avoiding. Call the person you've been hesitant to reach out to. Begin the project that's been sitting in the back of your mind, waiting for the right moment. Speak up in the room where your voice feels small but your ideas are big. Yes, it might not go perfectly. Yes, there's a chance you'll stumble. But understand this, every stumble is a step forward. Failure isn't the end of the road. It's the curve that redirects you to a path you hadn't considered, a path that could lead to greater opportunities and deeper growth. It's the plot twist that makes your story compelling, transformative, and undeniably yours. At the Innova Evolution Project, we hold this truth close. Your most profound growth doesn't happen in the comfort of the known. It happens when you dare to venture into the unknown, when you embrace the possibility of failing boldly, and when you commit to learning relentlessly from every setback. Your dreams aren't waiting in your comfort zone. They're out there, past your limits, past your fears. And yes, the path is messy, uncertain, and sometimes terrifying. But that's where the magic happens. Success isn't linear. It's zigzags, wrong turns, and course corrections. It's failing, learning, and trying again. So take the leap. Lean into fear, fail forward. With every fall, you'll rise stronger, wiser, and closer to your purpose. So the question isn't, will I fail? But rather, what will I do with it when I do? Failure is inevitable. It's part of the journey. But it's also transformative. Think of it like a storm, unsettling, messy, and even a bit frightening. Yet storms clear the air, shake things loose, and prepare the ground for new growth. What feels like chaos in the moment is often the beginning of something extraordinary. The truth is, the people you admire most, the innovators, leaders, and creators who seem unstoppable, aren't fearless. They're human, just like you. The difference? They've learned to embrace failure as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. They've failed more times than others are willing to try. And with each failure, they've grown stronger, sharper, and closer to their potential. So what's stopping you? Fear, doubt, perfectionism? It's time to set those aside. Take the risk. Make the leap. Embrace the stumble. Every time you face failure, you're not just enduring, you're evolving. Every misstep is another chance to build resilience, refine your skills, and uncover the path you were meant to walk. At the Innova Evolution Project, we're here to remind you of this. Failure isn't the enemy, it's your greatest teacher. This channel is your partner in evolution, your guide to becoming the best version of yourself. Because that's what life is all about. Stepping boldly into the unknown, learning relentlessly, and growing without limits. Now, the only question that matters is this. What's your next bold move? You've got what it takes. Go make it happen. The world is waiting for your greatness. Until the next one, let's continue to evolve.